Okay, so good day, everyone. So today I'm going to present my study entitled Arabitech, a microwave-assisted green synthesis of graphene oxide quantum dots from Coffea arabica L as fluorescent probe with cytotoxic effects for selective and sensitive novel macroscopic detection of HCT166 human colon adenocarcinoma. So, yeah. So coffee is what most of us drink on a daily basis. In fact, about 1 billion people around the world consume it every day as a kickstarter to their mornings. It has become our companion in many moments, during meetings, at work, or in class. However, beyond its role in our daily lives, coffee also contributes to organic waste, which is a major environmental concern. Coffee waste cannot be easily recycled or reutilized, making it a persistent problem. On the other hand, cancer remains a significant global health concern, ranking as the prevalent cancer worldwide and accounting for roughly 10% of all cancer cases. Also, it is also the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths globally. 2020, colorectal cancer was responsible for an estimated 935,000 deaths. Each year, about 1.9 million new cases are reported, and this figure is projected to rise to 3.2 million by 2040. The number of colorectal cancer-related deaths is likewise expected to increase from 900,000 to about 1.6 million within the same period. Then, the Filipino population has been notably affected as colon cancer ranks among the most common malignancy in the country. In 2020, it accounted for over 9,000 deaths, making it the fourth leading cause of cancer mortality. Earlier reports showed that it was the third most prevalent cancer in 2015, with nearly 10,000 new cases and more than 5,000 deaths recorded. It is also estimated that 1 out of every 10 Filipinos will develop colon cancer each year. Both global and local data highlight the urgent need for increased attention to address the rising incidence of this disease. Here we have colonoscopy, which remains the primary and most effective procedure for diagnosing colon cancer. This examination involves the use of an endoscope to thoroughly inspect the interior of the colon and rectum for abnormalities such as polyps or suspicious growths. However, its invasiveness, high cost, and potential risks are a main point of concern. Current cancer detection is also narrowly focused on microscopic biopsy and histopathological tests, which make the process slow, invasive, and difficult. Early detection through screening is crucial, as colon cancer often presents no symptoms in its early stages and is frequently diagnosed only when it has already progressed, limiting treatment options. Despite its effectiveness, colonoscopy has limitations, as it may miss small polyps or early stage cancers. The procedure also requires extensive preparation, including bowel cleansing, adjustments to medications, and dietary restrictions. Moreover, its invasive nature can lead to complications such as post-biopsy bleeding, nausea, vomiting, or rectal irritation. So these raise our question. What if we could create a rapid, safe, and affordable cancer detection method using something as simple as coffee waste? In this project, we took discarded Coffea arabica beans and converted them into graphene oxide quantum dots, or GOQDs. Our objectives were threefold. First, to synthesize GOQDs using a green microwave-assisted method. Second, to test their ability to detect colon cancer cells macroscopically, that is visible to the naked eye. And third is to evaluate their cytotoxic effects or their potential to inhibit cancer growth. Then, how does it work? So the answer lies in their structure and chemistry. These particles are extremely small, about 20 nanometers, and carry oxygen-rich groups such as hydroxyl and carboxyl. These groups interact more strongly with cancer cells than with healthy cells, because cancer cells have altered surface proteins and higher metabolic activity. Moreover, cancer cells live in an acidic environment and produce more copper ions and reactive oxygen species, or ROS, which makes them ideal targets for GOQDs. In short, GOQDs naturally prefer cancer cells, and when they bind, they produce fluorescence, or glow, making cancer detectable. And the synthesis process is that the Coffea arabica beans were separated from their contents and thoroughly washed in distilled water for 5 to 10 minutes to ensure cleanliness. The beans were then air dried for 24 hours. Following this, the beans underwent a typical coffee roasting process wherein black carbon was formed. Finally, the black carbon from Coffea arabica beads was blended until it reached a fine powder consistency, preparing it for the extraction of GOQDs. Then, the synthesis of GOQDs happened by adding 100 ml of 1% hydrogen peroxide to 1 gram of black carbon and stirring thoroughly. After mixing, the black carbon and hydrogen peroxide mixture was placed in a microwave oven and irradiated at 600 watts for 2 minutes with 30 seconds cooling intervals. This process created GOQDs, which are nanoscale graphene sheets measuring 2 to 30 nanometers in size. The mixture was then purified to isolate the GOQDs from unexfoliated materials and larger graphene sheets using thorough filtration, enabling further characterization. Then, the green synthesized GOQDs were cooled to room temperature before being analyzed with a UV-Vis spectrophotometer, scanning the optimal wavelength range of 200 to 400 nanometer to assess their optical density. Afterwards, Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy, or FTIR, was then performed to identify surface functional groups and absorption peaks. The GOQD samples were also subjected to in-depth characterization through X-ray diffraction analysis, energy dispersive X-ray spectroscopy, field emission scanning electron microscopy, and transmission electron microscopy, providing a detailed evaluation of their size, shape, crystallization, elemental composition, peaks, and the nanoscale structure features. Here we have our FISM images, which provide a clear morphological evidence supporting the production of graphene oxide quantum dots, or GOQDs. So at the 5 micrometer scale, the image shows a cluster of layered sheet-like graphitic structure, which is a characteristic of graphene oxide. Then moving to the 1 micrometer scale, it is a more defined, wrinkled surfaces can be seen with the sheets, indicative of graphene oxide's tendency to form after the synthesis process. Then afterwards, we have here our EDX analysis of the sample, which indicates that it is primarily consists of carbon, which accounts for 70.4%, and oxygen, which accounts for 24.8%, and other trace amounts of copper, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Then these elemental proportions align with expected composition of graphene oxide quantum dots, which are mainly composed of carbon atoms arranged in a graphitic structure and functionalized with oxygen-containing groups. The high carbon content, combined with the significant presence of oxygen, supports the synthesis of GOQDs. So GOQDs are known for rich oxygen functional groups, such as hydroxyl, carboxyl, and epoxy groups, which improve their solubility, stability, and reactivity, as confirmed in this EDX analysis. Then here we have the morphological features of the GOQDs that were validated through transmission electron microscopy. So TEM observations at 1 micrometer, 500 nanometer, and 50 nanometer field of view allowed for an accurate assessment of their structure and dimensions. The measured size of the GOQDs was determined to be approximately 20 nanometer, aligning with a typical size range of GOQDs, which are generally characterized by dimensions below 30 nanometers. Then these findings are further corroborated by the X-ray diffraction results, which confirm the successful synthesis of GOQDs by revealing structural features characteristics of an amorphous or nanocrystalline material. Specifically, the XRD patterns show a broad peak centered around 24 to 28 degrees at 2 theta, which is commonly attributed to reduced graphene oxide, or GOQDs. This broad peak indicates a disordered nanostructured arrangement consistent with the fragment and non-crystalline nature observed in the previous test. Then moreover, the gradual decrease in XRD peak intensity at higher 2 theta angles reflects diminished scattering from ordered crystal planes, which is consistent with the sheet-like structure of graphene oxide. The lack of long-range crystallinity in this layer supports the amorphous nature in this by TEM observations. Additionally, the small hump observed around 10 to 12 degrees at 2 theta presents the interlayer spacing of stacked or stacked graphene oxide sheets. The broad nature of this peak suggests that the layers within the GOPDs are exfoliated or highly disordered, further confirming their fragmented structure. Then here we have is that absorption intensity is the ratio between transmitted and absorbed photons, while fluorescence intensity correlates with the number of photons emitted. Therefore, higher absorbance generally results in higher fluorescence. Here we have in our figure A and figure B shows the mean percentage of absorption of the replications in each samples and illustrate that the GOQDs group with HCT166 cell lines demonstrated significantly higher absorption than GOQD groups with healthy cells. So here we have our GOQDs with the healthy cells and the HCT166 cell lines. Then in a dose-dependent manner, so both groups display the strongest absorption peak in the blue colorimetry range, aligned with the UV spectrum, where GOQD's excitation is maximized due to quantum confinement effects. This range provides sufficient photon energy to promote electron transitions across and photon emissions as electrons return to their ground state. Overall, there is a notable difference in absorbance between the two groups across all three colorimetric ranges, with GOQD samples containing cancer cells consistently exhibiting higher absorbance levels, which demonstrates their potential for selective detection of cancer cells. Then when we expose HCT166 colon cancer cells and healthy cells to GOQDs, the difference was clear. Cancer cells fluorescence at 46.30% in blue light, while healthy cells only fluoresce at 7.5%. The reason behind this is that GOQDs bind tightly to cancer receptors, reducing self-quenching and making them shine better. Under the microscope, cancer cells created with GOQDs form visible bubbles here, and Paul leaves changes that healthy cells did not show. Therefore, it is a selective binding, and the binding prevents quenching, which amplifies the fluorescence and allows cancer to be detected with a naked eye. But GOQDs don't just detect cancer, they also fight it. In our methyl thiotrazolium assay, or our cytotoxic evaluation, GOQDs had an IC50, or inhibition concentration 50% of 3.26 parts per million, which demonstrates strong anti-cancer potential. At concentrations of 7.5 ppm, they were able to kill up to 97 to 100% of cancer cells. This happens because the unpaired electrons in GOQDs generate reactive oxygen species. These ROS damage DNA, disrupt mitochondria, and ultimately push cancer cells into apoptosis, or programmed cell death. So once again, the why is the presence of unpaired electrons and ROS, and the how is oxidative stress that is selectively kills cancer cells while sparing healthy ones. So here, to conclude, GOQD synthesized from Coffea waste proved to be selective detectors because they glow brighter with cancer cells due to stronger binding. They're also effective cytotoxic agents because they release ROS that kill cancer cells. And they are eco-friendly and cheap, produced from waste materials at only a fraction of the cost. The answer to why this works is that cancer cells' unique environment makes them the perfect target for GOQDs. And the answer to how it works is that GOQDs fluorescence upon binding and generate ROS that kill cancer cells. So for future directions, we recommend expanding this method to other cancer types, testing it in more complex animal models, and eventually conducting clinical trials. We envision GOQDs as both a diagnostic probe and a therapeutic tool, innovations born out of something as ordinary as coffee beans. That'll be all. Thank you.